Hello, internet friends. Thank you so much for joining me here today. The training footage you're going to be watching comes from day 3 of this last week of training. It's a lot of pause squats and then some bench pressing and then some regular squats. And there were a few things going through my mind in this training session. As with many of the current training protocols, nothing in this is too daunting on its own, but sometimes working in some of these higher rep ranges, even 5 for me feels like a higher rep range sometimes, or the idea that I'm going to do my squats and then bench, then come back and re-warm up again for squats. I think that the squat bench squat structure layout for training is probably, in my experience, the most difficult, even more so than a squat bench then deadlift protocol and a template. But I've been kind of experimenting with some different mental states and trying to enact a little bit more control. Control is a poor word choice there. A little bit more motivation and focus in the way that I approach these sets. And I want to share that kind of with you as the training footage goes in the background. So one of the things that I've been trying to take into each training session is to be implementing this idea of sort of opening myself up to each set as it stands alone, not thinking necessarily of the entire big picture, but just coming to the set with this open willingness to have my full attention and my full focus on it. And as someone who has ADHD, that's something that is pretty challenging, and it takes a lot of commitment. I find myself drifting in my normal life so much that coming into these times, I just kind of make a little agreement with myself that I'm going to put my full attention and focus into what I'm doing right now, and then I'm going to be willing to close the experience afterwards. So I'm not thinking past what I'm doing, I'm not thinking back, I'm just respecting this set enough as an opportunity to either work towards getting closer to my goal, ingraining good habits and an approach that is going to benefit me and be constructive, or as an opportunity to be ingraining bad habits and losing some of that progression, and being honest about the realization between those two things. So trying to understand within every training session or within every set or even within every rep itself, instead of thinking about it in some sort of way that is bigger than your current understanding, you have to understand that anything else that's kind of inhabiting your mind when you've chosen another task that demands your full focus isn't real. It's just a memory or an expectation, but it's something that you're coming up with, and those kinds of transient thoughts are not constructive and they're not going to be beneficial. There are times when maybe you need to be thinking about some things in the future. I think that reflection on the work you've done is helpful, but you need to get through the work first and not clutter up your limited attention resources by thinking too far ahead or thinking back to things in the past that you can't affect right now. All you can do is make choices in this moment. And that's something that I've come back to this idea many times. I hope it doesn't sound too repetitive, but maybe just the way that I am thinking about it in this, or the way that I'm kind of relaying it to you, if it hits you a little bit differently, or if someone who hasn't heard me discuss these kind of ideas before comes across this video and finds it helpful, then it's worth it to me. I think this is a pretty fundamentally important concept to continue to work with and to try and expand and improve your ability to stay in the moment and commit enough of your focus to the present moment that you're not limiting your ability to continue progressing. So I guess another way to think of it maybe is, don't become distracted by doubt. That's not constructive. A fear of failure is not nearly as good of a motivator as a conscious commitment to implementing your absolute best effort in this moment. Saying, what if I miss this rep, or what if I'm not able to achieve my goals in the future? What if? Think more on the best chance I have to perform this lift, the best chance I have to finish this work that I need to do, the best chance I have of achieving those goals is going to come from the direct result of me giving my best effort in this moment, and then being able to close that focus and then reopen it at the next opportunity I have to grow and learn and progress. And I think that is one of the most fundamental parts of trying to improve in any aspect of your life, be it the way you interact with people, or the way you interact with your own mind, the way you interact with physical training, your work environment. Be willing to respect the present moment a little bit more and give it more of your attention, more of your focus. You will find the work you do more productive, you will find it more fulfilling, and you will find that in general you get further along by being more present than you would if you were drifting through and not having as much of a conscious connection to what you're doing. So that's really all I wanted to talk about today, and I hope you're all doing very well. I'll talk to you very soon. Thanks for stopping by.